Hi there, welcome back to part two of Andrew Donaldson's podcast, and he is our director at the Crow Road Salon, along with his sister Julianne. We left off at that point where he's about to take the big step in his career, sign on the dotted line and open his franchise. So sit down, enjoy. If you've got it in the car, concentrate on the road, please, but enjoy the podcast. Today's podcast has been sponsored by Mataki Scissors. And I'm an ambassador for the brand, and I've been using them now for about 7 months, and they have been amazing. The fact that they're a British-based company, the fact that we can pick up the phone and work with them, and we can get everything sharpened with them has been absolutely unique. So today's podcast is brought to you with the help of Mataki Scissors. Right, Andrew, you're in the office, you've signed it, you're done, you're in the salon the next day, because that's the thing, you're in there, you sign that thing, and then the two of you are in the next day as the franchisees of Rainbow Room International Crow Road. How's that feeling?
You're sitting, you walk out in the same salon you've been going to since you've been an assistant, and all of a sudden it's like, right, you're making the choices now. Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't do management stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
that's Julianne does that.
Yeah.
It's like I do the arty-farty stuff. I just mess about. But then you're coming in with a whole team that some of them were 2 or 3 years ahead of you.
Yeah.
And some were at the same level, some were a wee bit behind. And all of a sudden you're the boss.
Mm-hmm.
It was the hardest sort of transition I think I've ever had to do with anything, because it's try to understand how they're seeing me as John's nephew, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like he was always going to get that anyway.
Yeah.
They would have no chance anyway. But I don't know if that's what they were thinking, but you always got that. Because I've had that when I was an assistant. It's all right for you, you're the boss's nephew.
Yeah.
It's one of the ones that it's always in the back of your mind, is this just happening because I'm the boss's nephew, or is it something that we're good enough to make this work?
The cold hard fact is Alan and Linda would never have put you in the, now, looking back, obviously, right, there's no way they would have put you in the situation, and you'd walk the talk. Julianne had done the, let's just say slightly more organised thing, had done all the training, had been exemplary at doing all that, had already dipped her toe in management and was doing that anyway, and then you'd walk the talk with the art team and done all that. So obviously, looking back, Alan and Linda's went, we've got that role model, and we've got the hairdressing side of things, and we've got that, and then we've also got the structure and the discipline and the training and that side. So whereas likes are probably like myself and other directors, we were doing both of those things to a certain extent at that point, you had a unique setup. You're going, well, I can fully concentrate on this, and Julianne can fully concentrate on that. I think what was probably difficult for yourself and what you didn't have, she'd already had a clear defined role in the business as an educator and starting to do management, and as she pretty much said, she was pretty much doing everything but the books by that point, and then getting help with reception, whereas you didn't have that. You did go from being one of the gang, stylist, get to do the cool art stuff, to being your boss in the space of 48 hours.
Yeah, pretty much.
How did you announce it to the team? What was the point of sort of handover? How did you broach it?
We kind of knew like a week or two before it, almost, that like this is now happening. It's sealed. This is the day it's going to happen. And it was just to try to explain, like, me and Julianne's going to be taking over. As like, we're going to be the directors. So at the start, we don't really want anything to change. We're just going to keep running the way things have been running, because it seems to be working just now anyway. And then we'll try and just kind of work things out as we start to go. We'll get our wee plans in place. We'll start doing all this. So the first kind of few days, you're like going, what do we do?
Yeah.
And that's where Julianne came was like, oh, we've got this to do, we've got that to do, you need to get all this stuff done. I was like going, sorry, what's that?
Yeah.
What is that?
What is that?
I was like, oh, it's just all the checklists. I was like, all right, I didn't know we had checklists.
Right.
I was like, show me them. And then it's like, why do we do that? I was like going, oh, it's just how we get done. I was like going, I know, but why do we do it like that? It's like, is that something we change, or do we keep doing it like that? It's like, oh, that gets done like that because this, and this. I was like, oh, right, okay. What's that, and that?
Wow.
So it was like, I was like, this is quite alien to me. So it took me quite a while to like really get my head around it.
Of course.
And it was like, that's first maybe 2-3 months. I was like, I don't know if I'm actually good at this. But it's like, I need to get my head down and actually learn this stuff. So it's that way that you've got things like YouTube and all these things that go, right, managing.
Yeah.
What books can I pick up? What things? So
so again, because Julianne had went through Alan and Linda's training programme, she'd been away in 365 stuff with John. So had you none of that?
Done bits and pieces of the 365.
Yeah.
It was interesting. You see all the bits and pieces of it. You're like, that's good knowledge to know.
Yeah.
But I was always looking at it as a, how's this going to help me build my clientele?
Right.
As like, how am I going to get this to like, how does this work for me?
Right.
And it was never like, how does I get this to work as a salon?
Got you.
It was more that transition that I found hard. I can't think about how this works for me anymore. I need to understand how this works for all yous.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I do that?
What's interesting about that as well is the idea that, you know, we teach the stylist to be a mini business within the business, you know, so you are, you know, so I've got Rachel, right? So you're Rachel Inc. within Rainbow International, and you're going to run your column like a profitable business and then take it further. Whereas you're going the other way, going, well, I've been this stylist and I've learnt all these things, but now how do I manifest that for these other 6 people around?
It's amazing how much stuff doesn't cross over.
No.
You're sitting going, oh, I need to do all these clients, and I mean, all right, so your problems now became my problem.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Buck
oh, right,
stops
okay, right.
here.
That's what Alan was meaning.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's issues are now yours.
Yeah. And how did you divide that between yourself and your sister? Did you give yourself clear roles so that either the team knew who to go to for X, Y, and Z, or just so that each of you wasn't getting piled on with workload?
Most of the time, Julianne, at the start, Julianne done a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
And Tara was there at the back of that. Because she was like the organizer organising the organizer,
right? Yeah,
as well. So it was almost like Tara and Julianne were like this, and I was just dealing with the people, dealing with doing all the fun bits yet, and just like I'll show you how to do this, I'll deal with that, and then I think all the rubbishy stuff, like you need to go and deal with insurance, you need to go and deal with that. I was like, right, I'll deal with that, I'll do this. So everything was just delegated out.
Got you.
So I don't really know if we had a really like a proper like, this is what you're doing. Yeah. It was just, this is all the stuff that's here together.
What I thought was interesting as well was the idea that you know, you didn't want to be good cop or bad cop though.
No.
You know, that because from the outside looking in, it would be really easy to see that Julianne did have to do all the rubbish stuff and do that bit, and then you got to be fun Bobby and do all the art team stuff. But equally the flip side of that is, but if you were the people person and you were actually in the trenches with the people, then you actually had to do some of the really crappy stuff because you were actually frontline with them. So did you find that kind of, that's quite tricky?
It takes a bit of time before you get your head around it, and but you still feel like you're learning new stuff, even like today. No, it's like you're constantly going, oh, that would be quite good if we'd done that. It's but yeah, it was a difficult transition. I can't really think of it still hurts like when you just think about it, you're like going, how did I get through that? Yeah. But I think now we definitely got more clearer roles in the salon. It's like, split that up. Just you do that, and it's right. Bang, bang,
do you know? So you do.
And especially when Tara left.
Yeah.
Because that was a big moment of like, all right, hold on. There's now only two of us. Yeah. That's where the education side came in as well, because it was always Julianne done all the education. I'd done all that arty-farty stuff, and it was a good combination. It worked quite well. Yeah. But Tara was at the back of the education thing, right? So it was like all the guys had two educators to go out and deal with all the stuff. Right. Tara went, and it was like, oh, everybody's now going to Julianne because she can pass off the folder work. Right. It's like, right. What am I doing? Right. What am I doing now? Because I'm no longer doing that art team stuff. Yeah. So I was like, right, I need to now come to me for that and that and that and that and that as well.
And did you initially, so the step back from the art team, was that just solely time and energy to put into the salon?
Just learning how to manage more than anything else, because it's a different thing altogether. And seeing you're not used to doing it, it's hard to kind of, essentially you're telling somebody how to do their job they've already been doing.
Yeah. Well, you talked about, you started to maybe hint about it when in the first podcast, the fact that ultimately you were now the boss of people that either trained with you and you were just in the trenches with you, or actually folk that were further on than you.
Yep.
Now, there was one thing, myself and Julianne talked about being managers at that point, which I definitely was and Julianne was. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's your name on the checks now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a completely different thing. How was that transit? Well, you already said it was difficult, but how did you then manage the waters? How did you get through it?
I don't even know. It's you're still kind of looking at it going, you're kind of looking at every bill that's going out, pretty much going, right, who's paying for that?
Yeah.
Who's paying for that?
Yeah.
Who's paying for that? And you get to the point of going, I'm paying for that, I'm paying for that, I'm paying for that, I'm doing that, and you're thinking, right, and how do I get these guys to absorb some of this? And then you think you're getting it, they're like, this is now working, we're getting it, and then one goes, it's like, right, it's back to us again, right, we need to go back through all this. So it's, I think it's just literally looking to the penny of everything that's going out, everything that's coming in, and looking at it as bills, and going,
and dealing with it that way. And so was that your motivation in it, going, right, buck stops with me, my name's on the checks, my name's on the bank account, my name's on the bills, and I've got all these people that I've grown up beside, and they just think I'm that guy, but I now need them to get with the programme to make sure that works. Is that kind of how you manifested that?
It was pretty much as that went, because it was, but then once a few drop off and a few leave, it was so much easier when the newer ones started coming in.
How long was that then? How long from you probably taking over to it being pretty much you and Julianne's team?
About 2016, 2017, around about then.
Right.
So that would have been, that was probably one of the last ones I'd left that was part of the old team.
Yeah.
And it was just Tara.
Yeah.
Me, Julianne and Tara, we were like the wee tripod.
Got you.
It was, and then all the new ones coming in. So it was, 2017, that probably was the last year that it was now our team coming through it.
Got you. And you did find it easier to be
it's definitely
a director
easier
at that point?
Yeah, because you find they come to you and ask you director questions and management questions.
Right, okay.
Right, okay. Oh, I know that.
I'm that guy.
I know that now. And
did you do that thing for like the first year of that, of looking over your shoulder for the grown up that they were asking?
Yeah, I still do it. And sometimes Julianne's not there. I'm like,
you mean I find it now. I find that more. I'm more aware of that now when I'm at non-Rainbow Room international things, and they come to talk. Like, sort of got myself out of a position where I stopped going to things, and then I'm out of that and I go to things, and they come to talk to me like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to these things, and I look over as if to say, well, wait a minute, I'll ask Alan and Linda. Oh, you mean, all right, mate. So that also ties in with, so you've got that breaking the mould and the shackle's not a great word, right? But I suppose the shackle of the old team, you having this kind of imposter syndrome thing of why me, right? Which we all had and we all did it, and you don't retrospectively look back at the body of work that you did to get you to that point. And if those other people had done that, then they would be in your position, right? And that's it. You weren't in Ibiza for 3 months off your nut, you were in the salon doing clients. That's why you've got your shop, right? So you do that, but the other one that, again, because it's a unique setup, you've also got this clientele that think it's John and Joe's salon.
Oh yeah.
And that you guys are just in it. And Julianne said that was the hardest bit of the transition, because she was probably already doing a bit of management.
Yeah. That
she felt she had probably a wee bit more control at that bit. Whereas what she found really difficult was going, no, it's Andrew's and mine now. It's not.
It was constant.
John and Joe's.
Constantly is that there's that that big handsome man with the glasses still work here?
I'm big, I'm handsome, I've got glasses.
That's me now.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, people still ask for John. Does John still work here?
Right.
And I'm going, no, he's in Royal Exchange Square, but he's went full circle. He's now just cunning here.
Yeah.
Living
the dream. Because the thing is, it's big shoes, it's big personalities. Both Auntie Jo is the whirlwind that Auntie Jo is, and amazing hairdresser, and just this personality with the stories to back it up. And John is just John. I mean, he's broke the internet for getting his photograph taken in Royal Exchange Square a couple of weeks ago. Do you know what I mean? So they are who they are, and then you're coming in behind that. At what point, when were you comfy with that? When did it genuinely feel like not only were the team yours, but the actual bricks and mortar was yours as well?
Oh God, there's still a wee element of like at the back of my head. It's just like, I know it's not.
Yeah.
But there's still that element of like, is it mine?
Yeah.
Is it mine now?
Yeah.
Is it mine now?
Yeah.
So it's but it must have been like, I would say that time when the old team was gone, and the new team was coming through. It's probably that was the moment where it's like, this is now none of John and Joe's old staff.
Got you.
As this is now all our staff. This is the assistants we've built up, and that was probably the turning point, I would say, where it's like you don't have the old John and Joe sort of mentality in the background of these guys coming through it. But I mean, John was always great with us on road. He would come down. Yeah. Like I think he done like maybe 1 or 2 days a week.
Yeah. He was do a Friday or something like that. He'd come down to a Friday afternoon.
Like a Friday and just like, and then it was July and Tara was sitting
down. I always thought he was drinking candle rigs on a Friday afternoon. I want that one fact check, Mr. Parker.
But it was always like Tara would be sitting going, no, John, actually you said last week that it was that. I've got it in writing.
Aye.
And John's like,
I
hate you. So it was always, Joe was always like the kind of, she was the head honcho of the salon, pretty much. So it was that was always, I think because it's like aunt and uncle as well. There's always that.
Yeah, it's super unique.
It feels like it's still the family shop.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I think that's good though. I don't think that should ever kind of, at the end of the day, it's got the lineage. My brother's in my mum and dad's chip shop that was his grandparents. It's his shop, that way, but it's not. It didn't. It exists for the reason that it exists. But you and your sister are unique in that, growing up in the business, growing up under family members, working through a system in a business, and then opening it up. Whereas at least when I opened my door, it was, my name for day one. Now that has its challenges as well, because you're not opening up a clientele and there's there's what if. But I think the thing that always goes back, and it's a positive thing with the brand, is that the word the company gets bandied about all the, and you'll hear people talking about all these amazing things we do, and the company does that, and you're sitting there going, hold on a minute, who do you think's paying for it? And I every 3 years I'll sit everybody down and I'll hand my checkbook around. They still exist, we don't really use them, but anyway, and it's like, what does it say? It says Ricardo Corvey trading as Rainbow International. So when you're saying the company, you're saying me, that way. I always have that thing with Alan, like you get the checks for the bonuses at the end of the year, and it's still signed by Alan, the decorative check that they get. You go, excuse me, Mr. Stewart, I'd like my name put on that, because that's where it's coming from, But so you're unique that way. There's nobody had been through that, and again, because it's at the end of the day, it's your auntie and uncle salon and all that. There's nobody going through that. So yourself and Julianne tread a new path there that not everybody, you wouldn't really have advice to give, because it's like, well, we can help you with this bit. But we don't know what you're going through with that.
I think that's the magical bit of the Rainbow Room, is you can pick up the phone and go, has any of you dealt with this before?
Yeah.
Because this is new and I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And it's the famous WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
The only issue I have with that, right, is I'm always last to it. I
Right.
come in and go, oh, Julian's answered already.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what she's saying anyway,
Yeah,
so I'll leave that there.
Do you get the fear when you see the one that's 24 replies deep?
Yeah.
That one really scares me.
Like,
That's usually like, oh
what
no, I
missed?
don't want to go to the start. I don't want to know what the initial question
Yeah.
of this one is. But yeah, I mean, again, we touched on how we were obviously able to, you know, and all the podcasts have went through it, the Alan and Linda, you know, people always talk about, do you see much of Alan and Linda? And
All
you're
the
like,
time.
I'm never off the phone, you know, that way going, help, or this, that, and the next thing. Obviously, yeah, there's the famous WhatsApp group, but then, and what I like is there is no ego with this, in that you'll go for the newest member of the director team to the longest serving member of the director team to the actual company directors, and you'll be no ego other than, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm going through, exactly as you say, has this happened to you, and what's the answer? You know,
I know, is it? Oh, you're on your own there. That's a new one. It's like, good luck. Let us know how that goes.
So you started to, because obviously you're still trying to run your column at this point, and you're still trying to get promotions and everything and get up the ladder along with, because you're now salon director by ownership, and then you're obviously wanting to get to that title as a hairdresser as well. How hard was that? How hard was it just still being able to compartmentalise and cut hair as a hairdresser out with thinking boss stuff?
It's really hard to switch that off, because ultimately the thing that I find quite easy though is, as soon as I sit a client down in the chair, everything else is gone.
Right.
It's like, I'm dealing with you right now.
Yeah.
All the other stuff is like that, you're number one.
Yeah.
As soon as you're in my seat, you're number one. Yeah. And that I've always found quite easy. But it's when that's gone and you're sitting going, right, oh God, I need to do the managing thing again. Yeah. That's the transition that's always hard. Yeah. Going back into the don't be the hairdresser. Somebody asked you something an hour ago. Great. What was it? Have you got an answer yet? Yeah. So it's that bit was quite difficult to just keep bringing yourself back into managing. And
do you still do 5 days on the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, and you guys have been in a position where it was the 5 days on the floor, it was 6 and
7.
You were doing
all the days.
All the days.
That's my missus. She's been behind it all at the other side, going, when you home?
The artist formerly known as Dad. Just,
so yeah, it's been. I mean, there was a point where it was just me and Joanne.
Yeah.
Just to do it.
So was that before or after COVID?
When was COVID?
It's 2019, wasn't it?
2019. So 2020. That was after. Yeah. That was after. So we had 4 stylists, right? One was
so not including yourself, so you're running with 6.
Sorry. Yeah. We had 2 stylists.
All right.
And me and Julianne.
Right.
One was penciled in, big operation was going to happen. The other one left.
Right.
During the time where the big operation was coming, you're like going,
right, wow. Right, yeah.
It's like, so technically we still had 3 stylists.
Yeah,
but we didn't have any stylists. So it was me and Julianne was sitting with Alinda going, what happens? How do we deal with this? Because it's like they're going, counting how much you need to make. You're going, oh yeah, that counting stuff. Yeah. And what it done, that was, notice you had asked me that question, at that moment there was probably the moment that went, this is mine. Yeah. Because no one else is here. Can you do this on your own?
Wow. Yeah.
And it was literally Julia and myself going, 7 days it is then. Yeah. And it was everything was thrown at this, and it was but then you have this wee moment at the end going, we done that. Yeah. It actually worked out all right. Do we need to have stylists? Could we just do this and not have any stylists and just tell them to beat it? Yeah. Because if they're rotten, how long are we giving them to be rotten at?
Well, what an empowering mindset that then is, because you've got your break-even figure down, absolute to the penny, and you know exactly what you've got to be then bringing in, which then means that well, if I can do it and my sister can do it, we can bring this money in, then no, I'm not carrying any.
That's probably a big moment of like just learning you can do this on your own.
Yeah.
They should be a bonus.
Yeah.
Coming into the salon. And that's still you're sitting going, yeah, where's the bonus?
Yeah. And that goes right back to Alan and Linda being in that position when they always talk about Peter Sellers, but it wasn't funny and they weren't getting the wages paid and they had to come up with all these other business ideas to then be able to pay the team. You go right back to Alan when he was changing from Alan Stewart to Rainbow International at that point where he had to go back to London, work for a couple of weeks or 3 weeks, working a week in Glasgow to pay the wages. You come up with a plan and you come up with a solution. But I think especially for yourselves at that point, realising that, you know, there's that slight ego thing of having lots of stylists, and then you realise your wage bill and your turnover and it's actually not worth it. But knowing that, well, yeah, when the worst comes to the worst and there's only the two of us, then yeah, we can still switch the lights on, we can still open doors, we can still look after people. But it's not good for you.
No, it's not at all.
That's not good for you. Yes, you do need to build a team, you need to do the responsibility. The interesting one as well is that point where the paperwork side of it or the management side of it, you're doing that after the door's shut and you've done a column and then you're putting that hat on you.
Yeah, so you're pretty much set at the end of the day. Or mornings, well, John, back me up on this, I'm never there in the morning.
Yeah.
It's the same there, but it's like in soul sometimes.
my aura is there.
I've turned up. But it's but normally, as soon as the doors are shut, it's like, right, let's sit.
Yeah.
Thursday nights are normally a night we will sit because that's a late night. We're both in. Sometimes we block a wee bit early off and just sit and go through.
Well, that's the other thing, because it's not, again, I sit with me. You know, you've both got to actually sit together and go through that, because you've got to watch. You don't want it encroaching into other parts of your time, you know, yourself, family, all that, you know, wife and kids. You know, you've got to make sure that you've got that time as well. And the holy grail in every book that we ever read is that we should all have a day in the week for that, and that should be that day, and that hat comes off and the other one comes on. The only person that really talked about finding that okay was Adrian. He doesn't find he can be cutting hair into the office, be the boss guy, come back out and cut the hair and do all that, whereas I physically went through a period of having another hat in the office and go up the stairs, take that hat off and put it on. But I've spoke to a couple of people that really know what they're talking about with it, and going from that artistic to analytic head and switching it off, and the time your brain needs to kick in to be that person, to do the thing, to then kick back into being the hairdresser artist, and your next client's in and you've not had enough time. When I'd obviously had to start doing 5 a day after my dicky turn, it was almost a wasted an hour and a half, but I didn't have any choice. I couldn't do the 5 clients in a row and then have the afternoon, because I was meant to have the recoup time. But I'm sitting there going, I could either be doing this or that, but my brain wasn't slowing down enough to let me do it. So kind of all I can say is you need to start getting like half a day in a Wednesday afternoon, like stop doing clients at X amount of time, because you and I can't do that one thing where we'll all do it Wednesday morning from 9 till 1:30, because we'll walk in at 1:25 or actually 1:35. So we can't do that one. So you're better going, well, I'll stop my clients at 2, and then from 2 to 5, you know, I'll be that guy, especially for you both in the room. So you're down at 2 stylists, which is you and your sister, and then you're building back up to a team of 5 now. And you're all full-timers, aren't you? You're
no part-time,
which is really unique just now in the industry, never mind the brand. How long did it take to get a wee bit more stable again?
Well, that was really from maybe about 2 years.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't really that long, because it was maybe like a year, because we had one of the girls was back after the operation. She started at COVID and was just like, she got thrown into this world of like military operation. But the newer ones in behind it didn't really experience COVID that way.
Got you.
I was like, they didn't exist in the salon, so it was like they were after that. So it was literally the assistants we had built up to where they are now.
Right.
And they're a great wee team. Yeah, they're doing really well, but it's just this, I don't know if it's like economy and all these sort of things where it's just getting harder and harder and harder to build a young stylist up.
Yeah.
It's like that 1,000 haircuts is taking its time. But they're good enough. Definitely good enough to do it.
But do you see them doing your type of self-promotion? Are they going out with it? Are they at the train station? Are they at the club with it? I went
to the train station, right, in my spot, and at 4:30, 2 people came off the train.
Wow.
And you're like going, all right, okay, this is
different.
This is different. And then you're sitting going, where's the uni stuff? Oh, that's gone as well. So you're sitting going, where do we now need to go to get new people? And it's you're trying to just sort of door drops. This is where we got some of the vouchers with their names on them and the wee picture.
Yeah, which was amazing.
That's where I'm going, right, we need to go and hit every house in that street today. Yeah. And there was a map up in the staff room wall. I'm like, right, what street have you done? What street have you done? What street?
Did you targeted it that way?
Yeah, and we just continued that on. With the girl that started, she's away now, but it was we just kind of kept, they really worked. Let's keep them going. Yeah. And it was we just started hitting all the streets, and now we're like, I want to be the shop that does all the other shops here. Right. So right now all the wee restaurants, all the wee stuff, so I'm going, who's doing your hair? Yeah. Let's have to get some vouchers. Yeah, brilliant. Get free cards. So that all the wee businesses round about us are going, oh, I'll get my hair done there. Yeah. So that's what we're like, nobody knows. Aye. But it's like, well, keep coming in. Yeah. So so you're trying to just get through everything you can. Even the sports clubs and all the bits and pieces around it. It's everywhere there's people. You're like going, have you been there yet? Yeah. Somebody down there with vouchers today. Self-promotion,
and it has changed. And it is that thing where you're remembering it the way that you did it, and it just doesn't work that way all the time. Equally, I don't agree that a couple of posts on Instagram's going to make that huge a difference either, but it's obviously all got to be in conjunction with each other and hopefully work. But to build it up that quickly from there and not give up and chuck it, you must be super proud of the both of you. It's
been a massive learning experience. Yeah. Like to the point of, are we going to even get through this? Because this could end. Aye. Like everything. Yeah. But it was Alan and Linda again just sat us down like, how do you fix it? Yeah. Like, show us how you're going to fix it. Yeah. Breathe first. And it was just like, I don't know. It's like count the numbers, count what you need, and get right down to the exact penny. Yeah. And it was like, I was still doing it. Yeah. Well, it's I need a lot more pennies now. No. It's like it's gonna, more pennies. It's gonna change. Somehow it keeps changing. You're like going, right, we're talking about 5-year plans. Julianne talked about how she's really into that, and she does the 5 year. And I'm going, how many 5-year plans have you got in your bin? Because you're just like, there's that idea again. And the problem with that is you're not the amount of parameters now you're not in charge of. We're probably in a position where previous and current governments aren't helping. Exactly. Financial climate isn't helping. Employment law impact on positive employers is the most difficult it's probably ever been. Because even just daft things like we're talking about running a training night where everybody does the training because somebody trained you and everybody's in at the same time the same night is virtually impossible. And again, Alan Smith would tell you what you're going to do about it. The rules of the game have changed. Go on with it. But I really miss it. Just turn up and enjoy it. I really miss watching all the stylists, teaching all the assistants, and creating that teamwork thing. And I think that's been the hardest change. I think in my career anyway. Of all the things there's nothing that's came from the practical side that's either been new or old or come back that I've struggled with. The hardest thing that I've found difficult is just that sort of synergy of old-fashioned training nights, because the academy's great and it's still doing its thing. It's better than it's ever been,
and that's fantastic. But it's just trying to get that synergy our end in the salon. I find so difficult now, you know. Kind of.
Yeah, it's something we've started doing a wee bit more with, like some of the Schwarzkopf courses that come on. Is actually just going, right, we're going to shut today. And you are all going to go on this course.
Yeah.
And the feedback we got for the guys was amazing. Because they're sitting going, that was brilliant. Because they were all on it and they could all bounce off each other. Yeah. And see when they come back, they're like, going, can we do that again?
Yeah.
I'm going, well, I don't know about shutting the salon again, but
well, that's we're brave.
Going to do another one.
That's brave.
And it is something that actually worked to get that team together and just go and learn stuff together.
Yeah.
And see what happens. I mean, it could, you never know, it might be a bad move, but you never really know. But I
don't think it is, because they're getting the same message at the same time.
Yeah.
So, and depending on who's in the room, will take different bits from it. So there shouldn't really be any dilution of the message that came from the course, and it should run in the salon longer. Whereas, and we've all done it, we've all went in a course ourselves, and we've picked off the bits that we liked, discarded the bits that we didn't like, and then 4 months later, Alan's going, so what are you doing from your course? And you're going, not very much, or you're doing that one thing. That actually brings me now to the bit where who's motivating the motivator? You know, have you started, are you down that road now of coming out of having to be 24/7 in the salon, rebuilding, getting it to a level to get at least enough breathing space that you know you can go on a course or you can go on some training? Is there anything that gets you through that?
Probably my partner.
Yeah. She's
probably one at the back of this going, are you doing that still?
Yeah.
Is it, why haven't you got your education thing yet?
Right.
And I'm like going, I'll get around to it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like going, no, go and do it.
Yeah.
Like, go and speak to Lee.
Yeah.
Like, tell her to get it done. I was like, right. So she's always there at the back of this, like, dealing with me at the other side. So, yeah, and obviously you've got all the family around you as well that lived it and breathed it and all that stuff. So everybody's a phone call away.
Yeah.
And it's but it's, I think it's hard to keep yourself motivated sometimes because you're sitting there with your own wee voices in your head going, I'm just going to sing a wee song today and switch off, and then I'll go and ride a motorbike.
Yeah.
And then you're away for an hour and going, I'm back. What was I worried about? That was like, right, get back in the zone. But yeah, bikes are a big part of that. Like, just a wee run a motorbike, clear the head a wee bit. Right, where was I?
We didn't. I think we've done quite well.
We have done well.
We've sat for an hour and 40 minutes, right? We've had a slight introduction to that, right? But let's be honest here, right? And I was really frank with what I talked about in mine, in that because you're spending that amount of time trying not to die and or be killed, your brain space is then just all about riding the bike. And you know, and you commute quite a lot. You know, there is a very
it is a beacon outside the salon. People know I'm there.
Oh, aye,
and the bike's outside.
Yeah.
And it's and you
I
get some.
I had a guy on Saturday. His son's just passed his CBT, and I had one of my bikes outside the salon. He went, I didn't know you rode bikes, and I'm like,
hello,
what? Like 25 years, you know, I've been talking, living and breathing them. They're either in the salon or I'm wearing something that says something, and it is amazing where one of the things that you think everybody knows about you is you know, the one constant is I wear a hat and I cut hair. That is actually what people know about me, but all these other things don't. But yeah, it's that thing. It's you know, an omnipresent. If you drive past Crow Road and your bike's outside, then
people know I'm in.
You know, it's a good thing and a bad thing.
Yes.
That's not necessarily. But all joking aside, especially because you commute as well, because obviously you family, you've not got time to just go away for a couple of hours and to do all that. No. But even that amount of time, just to the house and back, is that enough to just?
Oh, it just clears the head a wee bit, and it's always. You almost kind of zone out, and you can just go, all right, what was I actually worried about there? What was that thing? And it's like, I can't remember what it was, but it might be Donaldson Smith or one of the ones with the worry tree.
Yeah.
Where you just park all the stuff on the lorry tree, and then by the time you actually get to somewhere else, you've forgotten what it was.
Aye.
It's like, that's probably a thing that happens when you're on the bike. A lot of that just goes, and you can bring things right. What was actually important? What was do with it? Is that going to mess things up?
It's like that empty head thing, you might take a blank bit of paper and write everything down that's swirling away in the back head. I think you do that more than the bike. It's not the same in the car. It's really weird to explain to people.
There's too many distractions.
Yeah,
you can put the music on. There's more noises and stuff.
Yeah,
you smell all the stuff when you're going past it. Yeah, it's like you're just in this. Yeah, you can smell the rain and all.
Yeah. Why is that person in the Honda Jazz still trying to kill me?
Have they seen me yet? I still don't think they've seen me.
Okay, I've got to watch, because you had a Nissan Juke, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
You did, because they are the two cars that try to kill you on a motorbike, by the way. All motorbike
honest,
riders will. Honda Jazz and a Nissan Juke are out on that road trying to kill us at all times.
The Nissan Juke, you cannot see out of it.
Right.
I nearly killed a guy on a bike.
All right, okay. Right, so you can stick up for everybody.
One of the moments of like...
Is that the C pillar?
Yeah. It drops down at the back.
Yeah.
So when you turn around, there's... The middle of the doors are about that size.
Okay.
So you're sitting going,
right.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, there you go. For all you
all
you health and safety nerds out there, now we know. Make sure we're in the wing mirror, we're not in the blind spot in this Nissan Juke, and or just overtake fast and get out of the road.
Just be ahead of them all.
Yeah. So obviously there's a whole bunch of us have got bikes, and it's a whole other sub-genre of podcast that we can go down, but they can be very bad for you, but equally very good for you. But I think definitely in my own journey, and I talked about it, that I kind of sat and went, what am I not doing that Alan and Linda did do? Why am I not getting either contentment or success like they got? And one of the massive things was, I'm now sending everybody on things and paying a fortune for all of this training, and they're all going and either staying or leaving and not bringing it back to the salon. And at no point am I not in the room going, all right, this is great. And that's been a big, if that would be mad, whether it was yourself or whether it was Tara coming in to opening the franchise, or any young salon owners or new salon owners, is don't ever neglect yourself in motivating. And it doesn't need to be that you're coming back with a new haircut or a new colour technique. Even if you're just in a room going, by the way, it is really good, and you picked this because you loved it, and and they'll either be somebody that you aspire to be and they're doing really, really well, or you'll be talking to somebody that's actually having a harder time than you or whatever. And if it's in a nice hotel and the food's good, that's quite nice as well, But even the simplest thing of just being at Salon International or something like that, being around like-minded individuals, I think it's just
it's huge,
an absolute game changer. So coming near to the end of your part 2, and I've stole a couple of bits from when Lee did mine.
Right,
some of the excuse, quite different. That way, I must admit, I underestimated what it was like sitting in that seat.
Right. Yep.
Right. That way, I had got comfy sitting in this seat and talking to everybody, and then once I was sitting with Lee, and she was hitting me with, mine took a curveball that I don't think anybody saw coming. But so I've stolen a couple of things from her, and I'm a plagiariser, and this is Lee's bit. But so young hairdressing, Andrew.
Yep.
Anything you would have changed in that journey from sort of starting at, starting as a stylist, assistant, getting to the point of signing your franchise? Is there anything you would have changed or added to?
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. I wouldn't think so, because I actually threw myself at everything that was going.
Right.
Because I always felt that I didn't know enough.
Right.
So was I at that point? I was just like, I need to know that. I don't know what that is. So, yeah, I'll do that.
Right.
And so, if anything, I probably would have maybe put my hand up a bit more. Like,
yeah.
Actually, I know he said he's going to do that, but do you mind if I do that?
Can I come in? And do you think that also backs on to the fact that you weren't really scared of getting stuff wrong? You didn't mind it?
Ah, yeah, probably. There was that element of like, if I mess up, I mess up. it's a model anyway, it's fine. And there was a few that were messed up. But then sometimes
works in progress.
It works, and somebody else comes in and goes, "That's really cool. What have you done there?" And you're like going, "Yeah. I know." It's like, oh, that was the practice one. Oh my God. So yeah, probably actually just putting my hand in a wee bit more and going, I quite fancy that. Can I get a shot?
Right.
But looking back, I've done quite a lot of stuff that I'm actually quite proud of, and all that stuff as well. So
and then sort of same question then as a salon owner now, and having that level of experience, you know, is there any of that you would have changed, anything you'd have done differently, or anything that you think, well, if I did that, that could have been better? Or
probably learned how to manage things before taking on a salon. Yeah. Because that was, I'm too late to learn this. I need to learn it now.
Yeah.
So it would have been good to actually pick up management training or doing these things or anything that was knowing that the goal in 4 or 5 years was going to be quite fancy looking at getting their own salon, making a choice then and go, I might start learning about how to run a salon.
Yeah.
It's probably the only thing I would have maybe have sort of picked up on a bit earlier.
Right.
Just learn as much as you can before you chuck yourself in this.
Yeah. That's hard though.
At the same time, would you have learned what you've learned if you weren't chucked in the deep end?
Probably not.
So
probably not. And again, you did have that slightly unique situation where having watched who came through and then being able to compartmentalise what you and your sister were, your strong points were good at, you know, that gave you that time. Now Lyndall will always say you're not ready till you're ready, and then you'll do it, you know. And again, you touched on it, that probably that moment where there's the two of you, it's post-COVID, and it's the break-even figure thing. It's just like but yeah, you're probably right. You wouldn't be, you know, sum of all your parts, and
so it's always a hard one. You actually think of what would you actually change. I don't know. It kind of makes you who you are a wee bit as well. Yeah. Because you learned that because that happened. Yeah. Or that place you went. It's like that was a new experience. It's so yeah, it's hard. Yeah. But I think I would have probably spent more time on myself. Right. Learn, like as you say, it's like, I think when you were talking about it, it was, or when you were doing it, I'm going to train myself a bit more. Yeah. I was like that going, what was the last thing I done? It's
see when you look at it like that as an actual time frame. Yeah, it's a shock.
So you're sitting in the salon going, what's the last thing I actually done? Yeah, and then you get one of your stylists asking you, when have you done a Schwarzkopf course before? Yeah, you're like going, well, yeah. I was back in oh, that turns out that was before you were born. It's like, right, okay. Yeah. When did it? Oh, right, okay. Better look into this.
Well, see, even on that, see the refresher that they do for the colour expert.
Great, amazing.
It's unbelievable.
Things have changed.
And surprisingly,
right, you don't do that with double O's anymore.
You don't. Right, okay. Well, that peroxide level, but it is brilliant. It is absolutely. It brings everything slap bang up to the, you know, because again, we're unique in the position that every stylist on the floor is either have done it, doing it, or signed up for next year to do it. And we're one of the only brands that has everybody. It's not just the salon owner does it and then tells everybody what to do. So where we're lucky as salon owners is there's always been somebody that year that's done it. So they're updating you. The salon's always updated on the new information. It's not like, you know, oh, well, we've not heard anything for Schwarzkopf for 6 years and we're going back. And they only just introduced the refresher. I think it was last year because I did it last year. So I think they only, and even that, and it was like 3/4 of a day. It wasn't even a full day, and that was brilliant because either it reaffirms the stuff that you know, or the mountainous amounts of different ways of now stripping colour somebody's hair, which we all need, because we're talking about that as well now, that every colour seems like a colour correction. It's never just an actual, you know, do you want some highlights?
There's no such thing as just highlights.
There's no such thing. That's it. And then in that, and this was the question she got me. Oh man, I found it so hard. Was, what is your proudest moment so far? You know, in your salon life and your home life, all that kind of stuff. What's that bit where you sit back and go, hey, I did a thing?
So there's probably two.
Yeah.
And it would be Royal Albert Hall, just being there.
Right.
Like beside all these huge celebs and like, well, celebs of the hair world, like your Vidal Sassoons and all that sort of stuff, and going, I'm doing the same thing they're doing. That was like amazing. And then having a child.
Yeah, of course.
That was like, all of a sudden it was like, everything was like, how do I do with me? How do I do with me? Now it's like, I've now got a salon. I've now got a child.
Yeah.
And that's like, this is a whole different world.
Yeah.
That was a moment that I really, really struggled to deal with salon stuff.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I need to go there.
Aye, yeah.
It's like,
I've got in charge of this guy. This thing. What am I do? There's no manual with that one either.
And then that's your partner's like, she's struggling as well. You're like that going, I can't fix this.
Yeah.
That was like probably a really proud moment of like, we've got through this. Yeah. And we're now here.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So yeah, having a child was massive.
Yeah. Oh God.
That was like,
I don't doubt it.
Like different level, but. Again,
and for those watching it as a human being, it's
human.
not his 848, it's not his bike, wonderful. Right? It's but yeah, I mean, and it's a journey. It's for all we've been through similar journeys.
Yeah.
The unique nature of all of the different podcasts, and I hope that people that are either watching and listening are getting that from us. That there's always been that spark of inspiration. There's been that moment of why we do it. There's been all of the success in it. There's been the bits that have been really, really tricky and tough, but you know, you've not given in, and then there's been those moments of reflection where you get to look back and you go, aye, that was brilliant. But again, what's really interesting for Julianne and yourself is you're halfway through that journey in respect to, we normally do these things, we do the franchises in 25-year blocks, and then you've always got that, you know, you're not signed up till the day you die. You do it a 25-year block, and then you decide whether you want to continue or not, and that gives everybody the opportunity and the freedom to move on and do things. And Alan and Linda were really important about that, and that given it, you're always given an option of what you want to do. You're halfway through just now. How do you see the next half of it going?
Hopefully working.
Yeah.
Hopefully still in existence.
Yeah.
But it's no, it's
you see off the back of that, right?
Into the future, right? Because you're sitting going, I'm just living through this bit right now. It's so you always need to have these like plans ahead, and visually actually going, what is this looking like? Yeah. But we're 46 years in the game. Yeah. Right. We're still there. 46. As a matter of fact, there you go. I've not made enough of a play of that Rainbow Room is actually 46. We didn't even notice that. All those years. Will used to always come into the flat and go, why is it always 40? He'd wind me up all the time with that. I go, why is it 46? I'm like, it's a good number. It's a good number. It is the number. There can be only one. But it's, well, you can go down that deep dish, don't you? Because it's 4 and 6 is then 10, 1 and 0 is then 1, and it's number 1 and all that. That's another. Oh, back on the internet all night. But that is the thing. That's see, at that point, whenever you think about that, there's not that many privately owned businesses that last 50 years, never mind them be hairdressing businesses, never them then be multi-outlet businesses, and then or be franchises. It just doesn't happen, and we're 3 years away from that magic number. So rather than it just being a survival thing, I'm sure it's going to be a better and bigger and brighter. It feels now that we're actually getting somewhere. Yeah, no, I do. We're actually right with all that COVID stuff and all that, and all these big players all leaving. It's like now we've got this. We're finally getting switching news off. Watch a really interesting podcast about two guys with motorbikes, and I'll be right, Andrew. Listen again. It is really unique speaking to yourself and Julianne back to back as well, because you get a real amazing window into what you've been through, and really, you know, to a certain extent, you know, obviously Susie and Sam being siblings, it's going to be really interesting because they're coming from two different angles in their journey as well, so they'll be coming up in the future and you'll be able to see them as well. But then also there's a wee bit of Alan and Linda in that as well, because, you know, a different relationship obviously, but having those soundboards to bounce those things off, and I'm sure everybody watching and listening's learnt
absolutely tons from it. So it's been my pleasure, and thanks very much.
No, it's been my pleasure. It's been great. It's very good just chatting.
That's it.
It's very natural.
That's it. But we'll definitely do one out. We'll do one outside, or we'll do something stupid at the bikes one.
Yeah, good.
But thanks, man.